I pray you'll come with me and tour through Italy. I promise it'll be great. I really just can't wait. We'll travel to Rome too. The Pope's expecting you. There's so much history that relates to you and me. Sign up and join Karen and me. Shabbat Shalom. Bonjour. Good morning. The Cantors Assembly is arranging a mission to Italy. Not a trip, not just a tour, but a mission. It has been through our missions to Poland and Germany and Spain that we have built bridges of understanding with these other cultures. We have found our own family roots along the many routes we have traveled. Join us next summer for an unforgettable Jewish musical journey through Rome, Florence, and Venice from June 22nd through July 2nd, 2020. Let me offer names like Pavarotti, Bocelli, Zucchero, Caruso, and Frankie Valli. Oh, by the way, the clergy boys will be back in town next spring. But what does Italy have to do with cantors and the Jews, you may ask? The history of the Jews in Italy spans more than 2,000 years. In fact, the Jewish presence in Italy dates to the pre-Christian Roman period and has continued despite periods of extreme persecution and expulsions until the present. As of 2007, the estimated core Jewish population in Italy numbers around 45,000. Our days will be filled with scintillating lectures, recitals, sightseeing, even a gondola ride. And did I mention the food there is molto buono? Now, the Jewish community in Rome is likely one of the oldest continuous Jewish communities in the world, existing from classical times through to today. It is known more certainly that an embassy was sent by Simon Maccabeus to Rome in 139 BCE. Large number of Jews lived in Rome from about 150 BC. Despite their disdain, the Romans did recognize and respect the antiquity of the Jews' religion and the fame of their temple in Jerusalem, Herod's temple. In addition to Rome, there were a significant number of Jewish communities in southern Italy during this period. For example, the regions of Sicily, Calabria, and Apulia had well-established Jewish populations. When one visits Rome, you usually gravitate to the Forum. You walk around the enormous complex, simply awestruck. You turn your head one way, you look back 2,000 years in history. Turn your head the other way, and you see another magnificent structure dating back 2 millennia. One after another, then, finally, you find the Arch of Titus. This huge and impressive monument dates back to the year 82 of the Common Era. Constructed by the Roman Emperor Domitian after the death of his older brother, Titus, this arch is virtually intact almost 2,000 years later. But why do Jews want to see it? Because the arch commemorates the Emperor Titus's voracious victories, including Titus's defeat of Jerusalem in the year 70. As a Jew, it's astounding to look at the images carved in stone by the Romans. You see the Romans carrying off various spoils of war from Jerusalem, including the menorah from the Holy Temple and other sacred objects. In a couple of weeks, we will commemorate Tisha B'Av. This is a connection that runs deep into Jewish psyche. Jerusalem's fall, the destruction of the temple, which was, and in some ways continues to be, the center of Judaism, is captured on this wall. This was the start of the 2,000-year diaspora of the wandering Jew. This would be a moment we would continue to mourn forever. All of this is captured in this Arch of Titus and is but one of the remarkable sights we will share together. In the catacombs in Rome, you will see Jewish gravestones from the 2nd century. There is evidence of Jews and their history everywhere in the narrative of the Roman Empire. And then there's Florence. Ah, Florence. Here's a piyut, a song from Florence called Shalom Leven Dodi, composed by Shlomo ibn Gabirol. It is traditionally sung for weddings and for the holiday of Simchat Torah. The musical treatment of this Florentine version reminds us of the classical style of the 18th century. It translates, "Peace be with you, my pure and fair beloved. Peace be with you from your brow, that gleams like an open pomegranate," from the book of Song of Songs. Shalom leben dodi, hatza v'hamon, shalom lecha me'ed, zaka kemorimon, ha'atzach v'hadmon, shalom lecha me'edecha kemorimon, shalom leben dodi, hatzach v'hadmon, shalom lechach me'ed, zaka memorimon. In 1492, the Medici family opened its gates for Sephardic Jews who were expelled from Spain. Also, the Jews of Corsica and Sicily were part of the Spanish Empire and also fled to Florence and to Venice. Venice is yet another significant port of our people. It has 5 synagogues within a 2-block area, and one can witness the mixture of minhagim, which flourishes from the diversity of Jewish cultures mixing. It was the origin of the first Jewish ghetto, and for music lovers, you will be delighted to learn this is where the first transcribed Jewish music pieces can be found from Jewish composer Salomone Rossi in the 1600s and Benedetto Marcello from the 1700s, whose music we will no doubt hear on the mission. You will be able to note that some sounds of church music also have their roots in this area. I pray you'll sign up soon. But I digress. This Shabbat, we study Parshat Balak. It is about a wizard of sorts who is hired to curse the Hebrews in the desert, but instead ends up blessing us with the words, Matovu ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. How beautiful are your dwelling places, O Israel. Sign up for this mission and let's travel together to see more beautiful places in which our Jewish people have lived throughout the centuries. And I can assure you that these words, Matovu, how beautiful, will pass your lips more times than you can imagine. To conclude, I invite you to join Karen and me and hundreds of cantors and their congregants on a mission of education, entertainment, reflection, and fun next summer, June 22nd through July 2nd, 2020, with the Cantors Assembly. Just contact me for information. There are flyers in the back of the sanctuary. I share with you this portion of Hallel, Congregation Shaarey Zedek, which our congregation is named after. Open up the gates of righteousness. But allow me to suggest a newer translation. Open up, members of Shaarey Zedek, your hearts, your eyes, and your imagination, and come along on this magical journey where I found some of my family roots. Maybe you will too. The composer Volunio Gallici and Francesco Drei composed the music of this inauguration of the Synagogue of Siena, Italy in 1786. The Hazzan, of course a tenor, introduces this majestic melody in an antiphonal manner answered by the choir and the orchestra. Pichuli Shaarey Zedek, Avovam Vaodeya. Pichuli Shaarey Zedek, Avovam Vaodeya. Ze hashar l'Adonai, tzadikim yavovu. Ze hashar l'Adonai, tzadikim yavovu. Tzadikim yavovu. Tzadikim yavovu. Ze hashar tzadikim, yavo